Hello and Merry Christmas and welcome back to TED Talks about the birth of Jesus and why it heralds the advent of self-enlightenment. Self-awareness was the first gift to mankind by the Creator. Awareness of self relative to that externally seen actual physical world. Each single unique one of us must live and function within. There's no getting around it. We are all objects being blown around by fate and circumstances in this physical world. However, Jesus was born to deliver a special message, a message that sort of balanced the physical world with a unseen component of reality, the spiritual world. Jesus tried to explain to us in terms relative to his day and age. Most of us don't understand history. Most of us accept that gossip or rumor or comment they hear as fact. But that's our problem in life. We accept externally things thrown at us as truth and fact. When it's examined with this balancing spiritual view, this spiritual energy that must pass through your heart before it enters your mind, because your mind functions in that physical world, and the decisions it makes most times are relative to what's best to preserve the self-interest of that individual, not understanding that sometimes the welfare and safety of that individual is bigger and greater and more far-reaching, and it needs the light of truth and balance brought by spiritual energy, spiritual awareness, or acknowledgement that there is an unseen element to our existence. Most of us avoid this fact, thinking, oh, it's too deep and difficult for me to comprehend. Well, Jesus came upon the earth at a time when 99.9% and maybe even greater of humanity was one collective, unconscious herd mind, driven by fear, living a difficult time, and in most cases all around the world 2,000 years ago. That majority was suppressed and ruled by a minor element, the rich, the powerful, and the educated. The masses were suppressed because of darkness and uneducated consciousness. Jesus brought this life, the aspect of the awareness of something else than this painful physical world, and that was this spiritual truth that said that you are much more than you accept, and all you have to do is want the will to change. Now, I've been trying for 40-some previous talks to develop some sort of audience to get them to understand that accidentally I fell upon the magic beans, the simplicity of how to grow that beanstalk, or how to understand the rhyme and reason and the meaning and purpose of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I was able to uncover the simplicity in Jesus' words when he developed that one plea, and very simple, very concise, very precise, not a bunch of flowery descriptives and adjectives and things to confuse it, as mankind has placed and built upon these simple words so many layers of eras and moments and rulers in history has tagged that simple world with graffiti that passes through so many layers of bureaucracy and institutions and governments and suppression, that this is what Jesus was trying to do, was to make you realize that the connection with the Creator was just one simple request, and that was to honestly want with your heart to be more like what Jesus said you could be. And to do that, it was simple. It was to love yourself. You really had to accept yourself for what you were, warts and all, and realize that where you were at this point in time was based on a past that you no longer want to be shackled and bridled with. You want to eliminate that pain and that agony that has built up through the day, the month, the year, the years that compound this moment in time where you feel depressed or stressed or disappointed in all the promises that you've never been able to keep as resolution time comes along. Well, Jesus said, try to forget all that stuff in the past. Forget all that. I am here to present a new way to the truth and to the light, and that's through me. And I believe he meant like me. Be the loving, be the giving, be the understanding, be the respectful, be the kind, be the good person you could be by just making right, honest, truthful decisions. Accepting that simple change in your life alters the course that you're on with such impact and such power that you don't understand that the ripple effect, the butterfly effect that could happen with a kindness, with a smile, with a gift that you don't want something back in return. It's more fulfilling, and that's one of the beauties of this holiday. Crass commercialism is overtaking it faster than the sound of speed. As I mentioned earlier, in my 71 years, traditions and things that were once upon a time a joy has been replaced by the hustle and bustle of programming and conditioning brought onto you by the commercialism of your life. And the commercials, and all the commercials, that you hear, they pretend to be true, but what if they're not, and you accept them? You have to become a little more enlightened. My free ebook, Slow Down and Love, I've been tried to explain in the previous discussions. It's available on tthat.com, my website. It's free, and if you accept this gift and a little bit of time just to check it out, because it doesn't cost you anything and you can delete it if you don't like it. It's in ebook or EPUB and Kindle. And this next week I'm going to transition on New Year's to the book, and we'll get into why I titled the book Self-Enlightenment, because there was a moment in my life that all of us feel the pain and the struggle and the disappointment of making bad decisions. I think I explain in a unique way through my own self-truths and how I gained my self-enlightenment in my past 71 years. I began the book 40 years ago. I wrote chapter 1 35 years ago. Then, like everyone else, I got lost and sidetracked and spent 40 years in the desert, in the wilderness. And fate and life has brought me to this Christmas Eve to give you a blessing in your happy new life, because you can have that happy, better new life by wanting it. I make it as simple a message as I can in my book by getting you to follow the dots that got me to the points where this enlightenment grew and rose. It was my finding the Holy Grail, my self-truth. It'll help, I promise, I guarantee, and just download it at my website, and I'll see you again on New Year's Day. Need a week for this video to percolate a little bit. I know everyone's tired. It's been a long Christmas Day, but all of us, if we really look at the honesty and truth of our reality deep down in our hearts, I would rather not be anyone else than myself, and you too will want that belief, because you are what you are. You're unique, one of a kind, and no one else can take your place. So until we meet again, Godspeed.